I finish at this point. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim. So if you have any question or so, I can discuss. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab, for a very elaborated talk. I think you covered the number of extra points. There is a question from Joveria. You can go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Uncle, that was very, very, very interesting, and it was understandable as well. So thank you for that. I just wanted to clarify, you know, when you said Jalvat, I think it was an Halvat, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Was that the subconscious and the conscious? And the second thing, or what does it mean? And the second thing was when you were talking about the magnetic field and the metaphysical properties. I can't remember. I should have written down my specific question, but I just wanted you to please clarify when you said I think you said metaphysical properties of the thought or something before it can turn into the magnetic field, which is the external, and turns into the behavior or the emotion or the action. So I hope that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So, well, Khalwat and Jalwat are a little different things. When I say Khalwat means I am looking into myself, study of my inner self. I'm in isolation, in confined in me, not involved in the outer world. The more I study myself, if you are alone and you are not alone, that is the best thing you can ever develop, because you are the only best friend to yourself. Any other person is take you to a wrong direction. I'm not saying everybody, but majority of the people around us is always, let's say, I'm gonna say, you know, today I'm gonna do gardening, and my son, Daddy, do it tomorrow. You know, that's too much. You see, he right away distracted me on what I wanted to do. I'm just giving an example. You see, carefully look around yourself. The moment you put something on the shelf, no, don't put this way, put it this way. What happens? You are constantly bashed by everybody. So what I'm saying is, when you in khalwat, in isolation, you develop to your max. You become a water drop to a pearl. When you become hard enough, strong enough, then come to Jalwa. Then come to Jalwa. Then come to the society. Will automatically be influenced. So as Iqbal says, we are a drop of water. And drop of water, you put it in anything, it takes the same shape. You put it in a glass, it takes the glass shape. You put it in a vase, it takes the shape of vase. This is what we are. Somebody's molding me this way, somebody's molding me this way, somebody's telling me don't do this, somebody telling me this, do this way. Not my way. I want to do my way. So that is, if you want to do it, you have to keep that drop very protected in a shell, and then make it a pearl. Gohar ho agar khud nigro khud garo khud gir khudi, ye bhi mumkin hai ki tu maut se bhi mar na sake, because then you become a strong pearl. Then you come out, people will say beautiful pearl. Everybody will be influenced automatically. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to write books. You don't have to give lectures like I'm doing here. You don't have to do anything. Act. Your presence, your solidness, your personality will attract everyone. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was in khalwat. He developed himself to such a level. When he came out, the whole world changed. The whole world changed. The whole religion changed. The whole traditions changed. The whole culture changed. The whole tehzeeb changed. Everything changed by one person. One person. We have to develop to our level, of such a level. We do not prematurely come out. The moment you prematurely come out, you're molded by others. I think that's the best. That's what we do. When we read a book, we don't take everything out of it. We take what we want to take out of it. So that's it. That's your point. You take what you took it, and let other people take what they want to take. So there's no issue in that. There's no jabbar. I'm not forcing anything. Please, like Rahafiddin. My talk has not try to influence any human, take away their choices. No, this is just what I learned. I'm giving it to you guys, and you, whatever you understand, take it. What you don't understand, you can question or don't, leave it. Basically, the thoughts are electrical charges. And magnetism also develops through the charges. Negative, positive charges develops magnetism too. So what I'm saying is, when the higher emotions are attached to the thought, your thought, if you go to electrical engineering, they will tell you all this telephone, when we talk to each other, we are throwing the electrical charges which sits on the magnetic waves, and they move your information is sitting on there and going to your phone, and you listen from their electrical current coming into your ear, hits your tympanic membrane and moves those little bones behind, creates a vibration, and that converts into the electrical stimulus to the brain converts into chemicals goes into makes whatever I'm saying to you. So this is how it works. So basically what I'm saying is, the metaphysical aspect is a thought is not matter, right? When thought comes, I deliver it to my brain is a universal chemist. It converts my thought into chemistry, into a chemical, and deliver into the blood. Blood is my culture medium, because I have to culture my citizens. This is how you culture a society. Whatever you tell them, this is how you're going to culture them. This is how I culture my citizens. If I don't culture them, they are in chaos. So I have to send in culture medium a good messages to them. So they work according to that. They're in harmony. If they're not in a harmony, I'm in a problem. So this is when they go there, each cell takes that message and make a messenger RNA, goes there and converts into proteins. And those proteins now is matter. So you see, the thought was metaphysical. Now what you're coming out of? Physical. Thought was my thirst. Water is matter. So thought becomes reality. Thought came, protein developed. So this is how human operates. God thought about creating universe. He came into physical world. He just thought. He was more powerful. He utilizes those faculties very highest level. So by thought, he's creating physical. We don't do that yet. We will. One day, we will just think and probably create without having arms and legs, like God doesn't have arm and leg. So but we have to do it right now physically too, because we are undeveloped. I don't know if you understand.
Oh, thank you. No, I have understood it perfectly. And I concur what you have said. Now, Zan is the next one, Brother Zan. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Ijaz Saab, and thank you very much, Dr. Hamid Mian, for such an interesting lecture. There are many thought-provoking points for me. before moving to my question, which is what is Zamir? I would like to put my thoughts about the isolation, if you allow me. As far as I understood the isolated life of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I believe that he was a very normal human before receiving the first revelation. He did trade, he did business, he talked to the society normally. But as he was going to be the last messenger of Allah, he used to spend his time in deep thoughts, and that's why he used to go to Hira.
So,
And that's what I thought, that he received the first revelation, whether in Hira or somewhere else,
yeah,
that
that
actually
doesn't mean
brought
anything.
him back to the society. So that's my thought. And well, anyone can actually have a different opinion about it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So, when I said Zamir is basically internalized society. Let me explain to you. When human born and opens their eyes, they start internalizing outer environment, parents' behavior, schooling, everything he start internalizing of that society. He internalizes the society's norms and abnorms, right? The society's ethics. And that, all that data becomes his Zamir. His Zamir can not necessarily is good thing. If he's born in a thief house, he's seeing his father is stealing things, right? That is his gonna be his internal. He's internalizing all those things. There was a society in Africa, remote tribe. They sacrifice their parents. It's a very sacred thing for them. But if we see that, we say, "What the heck is they doing?" Right? So, but that's what their ethics were. So it is the ethics is basically all the ethical values, all the things you internalized in your subconscious is your Zamir. So that's your first question. The second question is Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was not a normal person. When I say normal, yes, he did business, he married, he did everything. But God does not give revelation to normal person. To me? To any Tom and Harry? Oh no, it's a huge task. He said, if I put it on the mountain will crush. You need to be that diamond, that gohar, before I give you some task. You cannot take that burden. He said, your kamar was almost broken, what I gave you. You were day and night pondering on things. You were utilized the highest in your faculties to the max. Hulki Azim. He was not normal. Getting married and having children is normal human. We are. He was not.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about Sama, Basar, and Fawad. So Sama means hearing, and Basar is feelings,
No.
and Fawad is.
It's actually when we say hearing is physically when I hear from outside. But Sama is more listening, not hearing. It's deeper aspect of human faculties, not the hearing part. Is when we hear with our intellect. Sama.
Right.
When we see, one is seeing, one is like in Urdu is basarat, and one is basirat, seeing through my brain, seeing through my conscious. That is basar. Fawad is my intellect, my conscious. my mind. So these faculties work together. They are interdependent. So they come up with ideas, they come up with imaginations, they come up with. So once you thinking deeply, when you are seeing things differently, a lot of people see other human and they know them who they are. I don't have that quality, but a lot of people have quality to look at people and they tell what characteristic this human has. In the Quran, it says we will, by psychology growing, we will get to a point where we can see people by their face and we recognize them. Like animals recognized by their different shapes, we can recognize other humans by their faces, by their gestures, by their movement. We will know what kind of human is that, stay away from it or be with them. So this is how we are still developing. We're not there yet. Even in the Quran to Prophet Muhammad, if he had munafiqin in his team, God could have told him these are the people are munafiq, stay away from them. He did not say that. He has, you figure it out. You develop that sight, insight, who's munafiq and who's with you right way. So this is how we are developing. So we're not there yet.
Okay, thank you.
The people who are developed self, they perform in the world differently. I'm not saying we all perform. We are all here unique. We are all performing in our capacities. Some capacities are bigger. All are humans, equal. But by character, Quran says, every human is different. Prophet Muhammad was different by his character, by his personality. He never lied. He never cheated. You see, his characteristic was so beautiful that everybody stuck to him. He was different, human being, developed. We are not. We are trying to develop. There's a difference between them. Those who developed, God gave them a higher task. He gave me a little task. Probably he gave me little intelligence and skills to perform today. That's it. That's all my capacity is.
Atiq bhai, फिर इफ्तिखार भाई आपकी तरफ. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much. Actually, a very interesting talk, very informative. I have some observations. One thing is that the scientific facts as they stand today, that understanding of how it all works is dependent on the state of knowledge today.
That's true.
10 years ago, it was different. 50 years ago was much less. And 100 years from now, it will be far superior. We'll have a much better understanding. So what we're saying today probably will all be proven wrong and will be some other mechanism we'll discover. Let me finish.
True. That's true.
So that is to be recognized and kept in mind that no word is final. We cannot say that this is happening, this is exactly right. This is what is the state of knowledge. That is all we have. Second thing, I think that about Muhammad being a human like any other human, yes, I agree with Dr. Ijaz Sahab. Of course, he was much more developed. He developed into something different.
That's all we did. I understand it. He understands it.
So that is clear. The third thing I was going to say was that I wish that this talk had been given to the Pakistan cricket team before they toured England. Because if they had their focus and if they had this thought developed, that like you gave example of Imran Khan, that when he won the World Cup, he said he started thinking about it. That is very true. You focus on a object and you make efforts and then you you develop your skills and you're doing that all the time, you get the moral like strength.
Basically, you train your body in present.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is very important to realize that we have to focus and we have to think and want to develop, want to do things. Only then we can achieve something. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Iftikhar bhai.
Let me clarify. With the growing intellect of human, we all saying up to that period of time what we are saying. When Newton gave 3 laws, those laws worked in this world, and we followed them and we act on it. We made the world according to it. Now, when Einstein came, those laws proven wrong or not wrong, but they worked at that time. Now we have a different philosophy, different science. We are working accordingly. So the Newton times, they worked. They worked. So whatever we have today, we have to act accordingly. When we have a new things, we will act accordingly at that time. So this, we cannot say this is wrong today. No, this is the only information we have. Yes, it can be higher than that. We cannot say this was wrong. Yes, we will go higher. Cannot, this Newton's laws were not wrong, but we built everything accordingly. So, but Einstein gave better laws. So we are evolving. So that's all I can say. We do not negate anything. We should not reject anything. We go according to our intellect, current intellect, and then next generation will go according to their intellect. Yeah.
But we have the right perspective.
Yeah, same. Yes, you obviously you build whatever knowledge in medicine today. You see, I'm a doctor. All the knowledge we has received till today, I have to deliver that accordingly to treat my patient. Then tomorrow, when a different thing comes, those medicine worked, but yeah, I have a better medicine today. I can treat better now. It's not those that they were wrong. No, they were not wrong. So we cannot say at that time we have a limited knowledge and this is how we treated it. And we used to send a TB patient to sanatorium, right? Now we have a TB treatment. So that was not wrong. Less oxygenation at the higher level of the mountain is bad for the TB. So that's all we knew at that time. But that was not wrong. So this is how we're going to do in every part of generation. We're going to keep working on that same knowledge we have. Current knowledge. What I know today, inside body, outside body, I'm going to arrange everything in my mind accordingly. And then tomorrow will change. 100% will change. I know that. Quantum physics is coming, it's going to change a lot. So I agree with that. But we cannot say this was wrong. No. This is right too. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. I don't think there is any further question. I have the last question.
Sure.
And my question
Oh,
is...
sorry, Uncle.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay,
so
go
sorry,
ahead,
Uncle.
Joeria. Sorry, I thought you finished.
Sorry. No,
okay.
It's a very quick, Uncle. And then,
no, just take your time.
It's just a brief. So, Uncle, my dad's battery has also finished, but just the message from our family and this is what Dad wanted to relay, is that we understood, for us, we understood what you were saying. And it made sense, the talk, and Dad said that it also comes down to, I think, sort of individual interpretation, but I think also taking time to understand what we can't do is take things literally. So things sometimes we do need to apply many things, especially from my limited understanding at the moment of the Quran. There's so much psychology. So when you do apply things and interpret from a psychological perspective, you are able to put things into perspective and it makes sense. So we didn't have any misclarification or misinformation about, you know, that we don't need Iman or belief and so forth. So for us, we understood. Just wanted to say that. And my dad said that he wishes that the other brothers and sisters could be as developed as himself to have understood. And then he said it's a joke. That was a joke.
And let me tell you, your dad is also an example. I mean, look at his early life and look at what he achieved. That's his growing up beliefs. What he believed in, he worked on hard, and he kept doing it. It's in front of you, you know. So I know what I talked to him long. I mean, what he went through, and you know. So it's amazing how a person can come up from one place to another place. If you are changing by your actions on a daily basis, you're in the right directions. I mean, I'm not saying obviously that you have to follow the Quranic laws to be higher level. So, but still in this worldly level, you will be changed, definitely.
Thank you very much, Dr. And I also thank you for taking time to give a very, very elaborate and a very good talk. My question is finally, because I have also been thinking like yourself on conscious and subconscious problem. Is there any way that one can eliminate the effect to the minimum of subconscious, and is the root to that is Iman?
It's not. Iman is one thing, but there's a lot into it. It's not easy to do that, because every belief, you see, you have totally different imans, aqaid, beliefs, tasawwurat in your subconscious, which were given to you without your choice. Those are your beliefs. Don't think those are not imans. Those are your gods. God says remove them. La ilaha. Those are beliefs. Like Iman. I think you need to understand Iman. Iman is not Quran. We have to be very clear in certain things. Iman in yourself. That is because you have a different God sitting inside your subconscious. You have to remove one by one, negate them. Forget them. Then realize that this was not me. Why I was behaving according to this belief. Because it's not me. It was given it to me. My life is not this. I don't want this. Illallah, I want this one. Not the the gods are sitting in my, all the beliefs are gods. Aqaid, you're deep rooted. Those are the one we have to snatch them out one by. It's not easy job. It's very difficult. We all live in the past. And that's why we keep getting those same thoughts. We have to remove it. Don't you feel sometimes, oh, my sister, oh, my brother, oh, what happened to this? You become emotional. You know, all these things are, you go back in your childhood, you still get those emotions, and then you develop those feelings. That's how you develop those kind of behaviors. What I'm saying is, it is difficult task. It's not easy, believe me. It is not easy to remove each ilah from your subconscious and consciously. La ilaha is consciously recognizing your subconscious, If you're not consciously recognizing your subconscious, you can't do that. La ilaha is very, 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 very difficult things to. Illallah is not that difficult as la ilaha. Believe me, ask me, I know that. So those ilahs we have to snatch out of our subconscious. They are very deep rooted. And then the one we put new one belief, new iman, what you say, we have to repeat it in so many times to make a habit. Any new thing you develop, consciously, conscious thoughts. You have to repeat it, make it a habit, then put it back into subconscious, give it to executive body. Because this is your alme amr, this is your judicial, where you make laws, where you make beliefs. Then you give it to executive body. Then it's not your problem. You know that what I said, if future reality you can do, practice in present, what Imran Khan did. What it means is you take that belief and repeated it with emotions and give it to executive body. That will train your whole body, and when you go to the stadium, the body will perform according to what you imagined at that time. This is how belief works, and every human can do that. Believe me, every human. I'm saying at a worldly level or a higher level, whatever, wherever they want to use it, it doesn't matter. You can use it your home life, you can use it your office life, you can use it for your cultural life. Belief is something which is we use on a smallest to the highest level. It's not only what we have understood, Eimaan, what Quran says. Quran talks about a lot of things. That is the ultimate development. We have, if I am poor and I'm struggling with my daily chores, I'm talking about God. It's very difficult. I don't think so.
Thank you very much for that elaboration. So what I get from what the way you have explained it, that subconscious is forming as we living our life. And subconscious will have all the past, obviously.
And the new things we are adding as a habit.
Yes.
As a habit in the, yeah.
So once we become conscious of our subconscious as much as possible, we are on the road towards the strengthening of our belief, whatever we believe, doesn't matter. That's, you know, as you explained, that whether that belief is related to this life or it includes the next life. The issue over here is belief as a kind of a concept, or as a concept of
believing in yourself.
Yeah. So
forget about God. Forget about God. There's nothing comes God in picture until you believe yourself. There's no way. This is the prerequisite. Believing in yourself is a prerequisite to believe in God. You cannot believe in God if you don't believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, you're never growing. If you believe in yourself, you start growing. And you start understanding who you are deeper inside of you. God is sitting inside of you. The more you understand yourself, the more you understand God. You get it?
Well, I got it. What I am looking for is that
some other belief.
No. And it is going back to your previous talks. Is that subconscious, and for the benefit of everyone, is that subconscious obviously is causing problem as we live our life.
Sure, that is your worst enemy.
Yes, and your point is what you have said from your good work is that firstly is that we should be aware of it, that there is a subconscious.
I'm telling you, that is your comfort zone. That is your worst enemy. Anything you're gonna do consciously, he's gonna fight with you not to let you do, to make you feel comfortable, because you're doing something uncomfortable. Conscious thought is always uncomfortable. Creation happens in uncomfortable zone. Creation never happens in comfortable zone. You see, that creation which happens in comfortable zone is an unconscious creation, is not conscious creation. There's a lot of subtle differences we have to understand. Then we know what we are doing. If I'm creating this thing, I'm creating that thing, but you're creating, but subconsciously, not consciously creating.
No, thank you very much. I think you have elaborated it very well. And if there are any questions from anyone, then please feel free to post them in our seminar group, and Dr. Sab will be more than happy to.
Sorry, we can't include that. I mean, I don't wanna. I just say what I believe, and I want to say it. I mean, doesn't matter. And I'm not forcing on anybody. Don't have to take my word as 100%. Believe me, it's my understanding. It's my belief. So if somebody likes it, fine. If somebody doesn't like it, no, it doesn't have to be. Sure.
And what is important is that we are here for True Islam, and we are part of True Islam. And we need to benefit from what you have said and what is said previously and from the Quran.
Yeah,
and if we can relate it to what we are doing and get extra boost.
We're not we're not here. Oh, okay. One more thing I clarified. You see, if you want to be in a box in the True Islam boundary and you can't go out of that, there is a problem here. You're putting yourself in a box. Why Parvez Saab learned from Iqbal and came out of Iqbal? Otherwise, he'd still be living in Iqbal Academy and doing his books, translating in English and Farsi. You can't do that. You need to come out of that boundary to grow more. Otherwise, you're putting yourself in a box. He's gone. We learned from him to the max. I think I never learned anything from anybody but Parvez Saab. But I cannot live in the boundary. It's going to limit me to his boundaries. His boundaries were 20 years old now. You have to understand some things. You cannot live in a past.
How do you, but these boundaries are defined by the Quran. That is what we claim.
Quran evolves there's a lot of things to understand. Quran evolves every moment. Quran has a language which has evolution in itself. Every moment human intellect evolves, Quran evolves. You see, as I said, when we say universal laws, obviously there's evolution in those laws. They cannot be jamad. They cannot be stagnated laws. Stagnated laws cannot grow, can evolve further. We have to understand certain things to grow ours. If we get stagnated in those, if we have a stagnated laws, I'm stagnated. I cannot move forward. So we have to understand certain things in a metaphorical perspective. Yes, there's a universal laws, but they have an evolution in it. Obviously, because God is omnipresent. When He made laws, He made from awwal to akhir. So it evolving from till akhir, but it calls universal law. It doesn't mean it's fixed. As our intellect growing, we are evolving with those laws. Those laws are evolving. Otherwise, if the laws are stagnated, we cannot evolve.
To convey what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you have pointed that these awwal to akhir, the Quranic value system is flexible, right? Within that, metaphorically or in the real situations, things will be evolving. Now, if we say that there are certain values like justice, like giving warning, helping others, and these are fundamental values of the Quran, on which it defines.
These with the evolving culture, these values also changes. Didn't you see that how people helped before and how helping now?
That is fine.
And Quran says the time will come, wala taziru waziratun wizra ukhra. Right? That time will come too. So
that time will obviously, we, at least myself, I look at those values within the system of Deen. I can't see people who are non-Quranic mind and following their own desires and intellect without the guidance of Wahi doing that. Because power will always belong to them. And unless the power comes in the direction of those who claim to be, the proponents of Deen, should I say, those values, of course, in Allah's book, those values are absolutely valid. Everyone is carrying their own baggage. But in terms of human system, those values will only become manifested when we have a system. But that is not my question. My question from you is that, or my request from you is this, that leaving aside those aspects which are absolutely immutable, there are, of course, Quran gives us flexibility in terms of, with the changing times, we can make decisions. So could you be able to pick up some of those which you have already thought through them? I know you have thought through them because you have mentioned it here and there in every talk of yours.
You see, there is, if you understand Quran, when you say values, those are muhkamat.
Yeah.
Those are Kitab. Those everybody understand that. There's nothing wrong. Don't marry your mother. Don't marry your sister. I mean, that's obvious. What we are not talking about. Quran is full of mutashabihat, which eventually within human intellect growing becomes muhkamat. We're gonna make them muhkamat, right? Is that right or no?
Yes, I agree.
Right. So he says, "Sanurihim ayatina fil afaqi wa fi anfusihim hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haq." That will become haqiqat again. So reality, these are not reality yet. Mutashabihat are not realities. Muhkamat are realities. So we are going to make those mutashabihat into haq, into reality, with our growing human intellect. So that's where I say these are changing. We are talking what we are talking about in those aspects of Quran, not the aspect of Muhkamat. I cannot go against those Muhkamat. I can take inferences, I can take ideas, I can take from the Mutashabihat, I can take anything I want to take according to my perception. You can take anything you want to take from your perception. This is the beauty of Quran. Quran gave one verse, Iqbal gave one share. You can take it into skies you want to. It's up to your analysis of metaphorical perception of yours. Mine is different, yours is different, third person is different. Every human has beautiful perception. They can take it to their own way. There is no problem with that. There's no problem. Quran asks to come all of the walks of all of the different fields, psychology, anthropology, geology, cosmology, come towards me and take the best out of me at that particular time. And then the next generation will take the best of according to their knowledge. He's not putting you in a box in that aspect. Yeah, he's putting me in box, don't marry my mom. Of course, don't marry your sister. He's putting me in, I can't transgress that. But there is no limit to think on those mutashabihat. Every individual, according to their higher intellect, they can think whatever they want to think. There's no bidat, or there's no like, oh, you're doing something wrong. No, you're not doing something wrong. You can think whatever you want to think about that verse. That's the beauty of Quran. This is how we're gonna grow. There's no, if you put restriction, no, this ayat is this way, you have to think this way. No. Mutashabihah, you can't do that. Sanurihim ayatina fil afaqi. Constantly keep thinking according to your higher intellect, in yourself and in the afaq. And hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haq. Then it becomes real. So we are making those mutashabihat into a beautiful things. And that is human mind is doing. He gave us clues. He's so smart. Believe me, if you understand what he did, it's just mind-boggling to me. He's playing. It's just highest player, highest everything. I mean, it's just the way he wants us to develop. It's crazy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. I don't know if Zan wants to ask another.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Yeah, I was thinking about, again, going back to the same point, looking at my own intellect level towards Quran, Quranic thoughts, Quranic laws. I am living a life of isolation among my friends, among my peers, and among my family, because most of my family are Orthodox, and they are following what they have learned from their parents, what they have seen in their forefather. So that's what was my point when I mentioned it, that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was living a kind of life of isolation because of his thoughts, because of being the last messenger of Allah, and otherwise it was a normal life. Thank you very much.
Yes. I mean, Carl Jung said, he defined loneliness. What is loneliness? Loneliness happens when your intellect gets higher than other peers of yours and you don't fit in them. And then you are thinking different, they are thinking different, and you don't feel like part of them. And then you become alone. There is a different, you see, there's a subtle differences in the words. One is a loneliness, it's a negative connotation. One is a solitude. Solitude is positive. And when we say words, it's very interesting to watch those, because solitude is to focusing on human. Solitude is not, you're not lonely. You are with yourself. You see this, how beautiful it is? Because God is your Rafiq Allah. Who's your best friend? Who's your best friend? You think it's outside? You think it's outside? No, it is inside. He's telling you, I'm your Rafiq Allah. Then you're denying it. So we are looking best friend outside. That's where the problem is. So if you are not lonely when you are alone, that is solitude. And that is the beautiful time. You can concentrate on yourself and figure it out. Who's God? And who are you too? Obviously, who are you first? You can't find God unless you find yourself. That is, stick to your belief. Whatever the surrounding is telling you, because it's a challenge. It's a constant challenge to you to grow when you're living among those people who are bashing you. The more problems you're getting, the more you're developing. Believe me, the more hurdle you're getting in your life, because that's where you're trying to learn to answer them, to satisfy them. This is where your growth is. Keep doing it.
Right, Dr. Saab, Zam's loneliness has brought him to this seminar.
That's true.
Dr. Saab, thank you very much. I think we have come to the end, and in any case, this subject is not going to go away, and inshallah, it will keep coming back. And as you work more, and you will definitely share your thoughts.